Hi and welcome to a new video on my channel, Elena's Reading Life. Today I'm gonna do my July wrap-up. And the first book I read was Kingdom of Copper, which is the sequel to City of Brass. So, I just want to say this cover is beautiful. But it's about a girl named Nari, and she lives in Egypt, in Cairo, and she accidentally conjures a jinn, and the jinn takes her away to their land, it's a city called Tirabad, and she realizes that, and she gets told that she's part human, part jinn. So she's a deva, and it's about rebellion and different jinn tribes, and she gets to live in the castle and stuff. It's a lot of political intrigue, and it's really good. I gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Deep by... I listened to this on audio. And the audiobook was good. It was really long though, like 23 hours or something. So I did start it in June, but I finished it in July. Then I read The Deep by Rivers Solomon, which is a mermaid story. I also read that on audio, and it's about the Washinru people who were thrown overboard from the slave ships when they were pregnant, and it's about their children becoming mermaids, and the specific mermaid or siren, I don't know, one person in the society has to remember everything, and the other people are allowed to forget all the trauma. And then on one day a year, there's a remembrance where the historian tells the others about their people. And it's really cool. It was inspired by a song with the same name. I gave that 4 stars. And yeah, I think Kingdom of Copper is actually 4.5 stars, not just 4. Then I listened to another audiobook, which was You Should See Me in a Crown by Lee Johnson, which is a YA contemporary, and I gave that 4 stars. It's about a girl named Lizzie, I think, and she wants to get into a good college, but she doesn't have the money, and she gets denied financial aid. So she wants to win prom queen, because the prom queen gets a scholarship. So it's about her doing that, and also a romance, a female romance, which is really cute. And it's both sad and happy, because her mother had died. So it's sometimes really sad, but it's mostly an uplifting, cute book. 4 stars, yeah. And then I read my favorite book of 2020 so far, and that's An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon, which is a sci-fi book that I gave 5 stars. It's a story set on a spaceship where all that's left of humanity live. They're going somewhere, but they never seem to get there because they've been traveling for hundreds of years. And our main character's name is Aster, and they are a doctor / scientist / botanist / everything. They are really cool, and their mother, she thinks, died by suicide, and their mother left behind a lot of journals, but they're written in code. So Aster and her friend Giselle are deciphering the code to learn more about the spaceship. And Aster is really, really smart, So Theo, which is a doctor, takes them to be like his apprentice, and the ship is divided into different decks, and on the upper decks live the white, wealthy, and influential people, and on the bottom decks live the people of color, black people, and poor people. So it's very segregated. It doesn't have a lot of action, but it's super interesting, and it has some cool science in it. And I loved all the characters; they were so vivid, and I wanted to be Esther's friend. They've been through a lot, and the leader, the commander, is sick, but he's kind of a bad one. But then when he dies, there comes an even worse commander, so that's not great. And it has a lot of good representation. It is on voices for the black rep, for the non-binary rep. I'm not sure about the neurodiversity rep. That might be on voices too. I haven't looked into it. I myself am actually neurodiverse. I have Asperger's syndrome, and I thought it was a great representation of that. And it also has queer characters. It has lesbians, and maybe bi and gay. I'm not sure, but lesbians there are at least. So a lot of good representation, and I'm also queer. I'm bi, if you didn't know. So yeah, good representation there for neurodiversity and queer. I can't talk about the black rep. Then I read Cryer's War by Nina Varela. And this is the most beautiful cover I have ever seen in my life. And this is a fantasy book where humans have created these beings called Automane, which are a kind of robot, or AI, but they're very advanced and look just like humans and behave like humans, though they don't feel emotions as strongly as humans. They're not capable of like passion and love in the same way. But it's about Cryer, who's an Automane, and she is the daughter of the king. And then there's Ayla, who wants to kill Cryer. And then Ayla becomes Cryer's handmaiden. And Ayla is plotting to kill Cryer, but then some feelings get involved and they kiss. Yeah, it's a human rebellion against the Automane rule, because the Automanes took over the world and the humans aren't liking being treated like slaves. So yeah, this was good. I gave it 4 stars. I was hoping for 5 stars because of the female stuff, but it was still good. Yeah. Then I read an audiobook, Felix Ever After by Kirsten Calendar, which I gave 5 stars. It was great. It's about a black, trans, bisexual guy named Felix who goes to an art school, and he wants to get into Brown University. So he's working on his portfolio for the art, and he gets put through a lot of transphobic things. Someone puts a gallery up on the school of him before he transitioned with his dead name, which is the name your parents gave you. And if you're trans or not trans, you might wanna change your name. So then your old name is called your dead name. And a lot of the book is spent trying to figure out who did the gallery, and that was a really intriguing part of the book. And then we have Felix's best friend Ezra is my new fictional crush, And we have his other friend Leah, who I also liked. And yeah, Felix is trying to get revenge on the person he thinks did it. And it's just amazing. 5 stars. Really recommend the audiobook too. It had a perfect narrator. Then I read Peter Pan. Right, now we're moving into reading rush territory. I read Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie and gave it 2 stars. It was really racist towards indigenous people, calling them bad names and basically descripting them as animals. And Peter Pan was for the challenge: read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen, and read the first book you touched. Then I read Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, which is a YA contemporary that I read as an audiobook and gave 5 stars. That was also for the reading rush, and it was for read a book completely outside of your house, which is a weird challenge to have during Corona, but and read a book set on a different continent than where you live. I live in Sweden, in Europe, and this takes place in South America, Dominican Republic, and North America in the US, in New York. So, yep, those 5 stars is about a plane crash where these 2 girls' father was on the plane and died. And this plane crash actually happened in real life. It was a plane going from New York to the Dominican Republic, and it went down into the ocean and everyone died. At least I think everyone died, and nearly all of the passengers were Dominicans. But then the actual story is fiction. It's about 2 girls, and it's told in dual perspective. One of the narrators is the author Elizabeth Acevedo, and then there's another narrator for the other sister. So when their father dies, they learn that he actually had 2 families, one in the Dominican Republic and one in New York. So they had a sister they never knew about. So it's about them meeting and them dealing with their grief. And it was so good. It hit me in the feels. So 5 stars. I recommend the audiobook for all of Elizabeth Acevedo's books because she narrates them herself and her voice is just the most amazing voice ever. Then we have Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is a sci-fi book. And that was for read a book in a genre you've always wanted to read more of. So sci-fi was that for me. And this is the sequel to Illuminate. And it is following also always following one boy and one girl. But in Illuminate there's 2 different people than in this one. In this one we have Nick and Hannah. And they live on this space station, which is getting invaded by an evil corporation, and they're killing off everyone. So Hannah and Nick are trying to save the day and kill them instead, and trying to get everyone out of there. And it has alternate dimensions in it and a lot of science. So sometimes it was confusing, but it's told in mixed media format, which is really cool. So there's like some pages can look like this, and then you have to like turn the page to read all this weird text. And there's a lot of direct messages in here, like this. So it's a really quick read, even though it's 650 pages. And you have the countdown to Hypatia arrival at Heimdall Waypoint, and you have countdown to Kennedy Assault Fleet. So the Kennedy Assault Fleet is what invaded the space station, and Hypatia is another spaceship which is more friendly. But yeah, it's super cool. I'm just gonna show you a thing. And here are the people that came and invaded it. And then there's an X for everyone that's dead. So this was really good. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm gonna read Obsidio in August. So that was what I read for the reading rush. I was supposed to read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman for the Birthstone thing and the book that starts with the, but I didn't get to it because I didn't have time for that. I had 3 5 stars, which is a lot for me. I usually have 1 or 0. So that was A Clap When You Land, Felix Ever After, and An Unkindness of Ghosts. I got 5 stars, and then we have 1, 2, 3, Crier's War, and You Should See Me in a Crown, that got 4 stars. Then Gemina got 4.5 stars, and Peter Pan got 2 stars for being racist and boring. The movie is much, much better. So yeah, like and subscribe if you want to, and comment down below what you read in July. Thanks for watching. Bye!
I've been lost in my own thoughts. I've been lost in my mind. I've been wondering what these ghosts casting. Well, I prayed isn't time. Yeah, I've been walking on cold dust. I've been speaking in rhymes. I've been looking at the things that we hold up, but it ain't worth a dime. My heart is broke, and yours probably is too, cause it seems like the whole world is quit you. See, we feel what we feel, and often no excuse in the darkness. Our fears are running loose, so light a candle, and I curse the dark now. Become a beacon for all these broken hearts that better be must waiting to embark on a journey alone that we can't quite start on. I've been lost in my own thoughts. I've been lost in my mind. I've been wondering what these ghosts casting. Well, I prayed isn't time. Yeah, I've been walking on cold dust. I've been speaking in rhymes. I've been looking at the things that we hold up, and it ain't worth a dime. Yo, I've been mad salty lately, soaked in sodium, but I lands my disease so as I stand atop this podium, questioning all the things that together we've been hoping and been sipping this Kool-Aid for too long. It's time we close our lips, focus on breathing, focus on being, focus on the fact we'll never know if we're here for a reason, but we do know we got one life, our greatest resource, and if we live it right, maybe we won't need more. But damn, we've been spending all this time trying to get our money straight like we can buy our way to redemption, or that we can rob the devil into bringing fulfillment to our lives. See, we've been bad on lies, but we just keep on losing, suppressing the voice inside just so we can keep it moving. But no one really shines until they see the truth is the only way to find your life is to lose it one love. Well, I prayed isn't time. Yeah, I've been walking on cold dust. I've been speaking in rhymes. I've been looking at the things that we hold up, and it ain't worth a dime.